Hey guys, so I just picked up an S2000 and this is the AP2. You can tell by the intake pipe there's no secondary air pump hose. And I just wanted to break down the differences between the AP2 airbox and the AP1 airbox. So I have an AP1 right here that I picked up. I'm basically going to do the LHT mod, but I think a lot of people doing the LHT mod, they are forgetting that this is also one restriction. So I think if you're not extending this piece out towards here, then you're not really doing too much for your car, because this pipe actually guides air into your filter, and because of that I feel like you're not really gaining too much by just cutting this out, because you're still restricted here to this small opening, when in reality it absorbs, it gathers air from this whole area. So I think you can probably go out to here. I think really the reason why Honda might have chosen to narrow it out like this is because the air filter comes all the way out to here and they have to make this partition. So this partition kind of gets in the way. If you were to open it up to here, then it'd be a little bit better, but because of this restriction they were only able to keep the opening to this small. So today I'll be cutting out this partition in this box, as well as just extending this opening out to here. And if I get enough interest, I may 3D print multiple pieces for sale just to extend it out to here. Obviously you'll have to do some cutting and you'll probably lose this clip, but I think the seal should be fine. Also, one difference to note with the AP1 versus the AP2 box. AP2 on the left, AP1 over here. You can tell that there's a partition right here for the AP2. So the AP1 in stock form may flow slightly better, I would say. That's pretty much the only difference for the lid there is. And for the bottom part of the box, there is a very small difference in the style grommet. This one has more of a Phillips style right here, and then this one has an opening for the male end of the intake to go into. Which brings me to this point. The previous owner fitted a K&N filter. It was pretty dirty when I got it. I just finished resurfacing it to put it back in the box, but I noticed that this dingle at the very end of the filter is AP1 style, and K&N only sells one version of this filter for S2000s. So not a big deal. It doesn't really affect performance or anything like that, but if you're nitpicky, you'll realize that this only fits the AP1 box because it goes right here into this tiny little hole, like so. But on the AP2 box, this is the Phillips style, it will not fit, but you can just kind of move it out of the way. It's kind of just chilling here. So that's just something to note. I don't think anyone's really mentioned it. Most people don't stick with the OEM airbox anyways, but I just wanted to modify this, see if there's any difference. I will start modifying it pretty much now. Boom, airbox out. The airbox takes up so much space, it's kind of weird to see it just missing. So the right tool is the one that you have. There's these 4 little plastic welded bits, and that needs to come out. I'm just going to use this as a grinder. And it's out. Doesn't have to be the cleanest, because once you cut out this partition, it's basically going to be no longer going to be the limiting factor of your intake. I'm also going to cut out these rivets right here that hold in the air duct, because I will be modifying this and taking the LHT mod to another, I'll be progressing on it basically. Cool. So got the rivet out. I will need some washers and stuff to put this back in, but this gives me a good start. Voila! Okay. So this is basically my plan to do something like this. So this is the original AP2 intake, and you can see how it narrows out. And then this is my proof of concept version. I will be epoxying this down, but it should provide a little bit more airflow, a third more to be exact. I'm going to take this and epoxy it down, try to get all the dimensions right, and then afterwards I'll come back and mock up the airbox to fit these new dimensions. So here's the finished product. Looks pretty nice. Also kind of janky, but we have a little bit of light seepage through here, so the epoxy's clear. I might just go over it with a coat of black, but it doesn't really bother me since it's just like a proof of concept. There's a little bit of gap here, which I will fill in with sealant or butyl just to keep it airtight. And yeah, that's about it. The bottom seems to seal pretty well. I'm not worried about that. So, not bad. Almost. Not the most factory, but shows that there's a little bit of improvement. There's parts cut out. I'm just going to finish it off with that sealant and call it a day. And look what just came in for this. Ooh. Any guesses?